Welcome to the world's mysterious places. First, Oak Island, Nova Scotia, location of the fabled money pit, reputed since the mid-19th century to be the hiding place of a vast fortune. Despite the efforts of many people over decades, no treasure has ever been found there. Next is Area 51, one of the most secret military sites in the United States, until stories of UFO reverse engineering experiments brought it to wide public knowledge in the early 1990s. The place is also known as Air Force Flight Test Center, Dreamland and Groom Lake, and is the site of the world's longest runway. The Pyramid of the Sun and Moon in Mexico were built around 2,000 years ago by the Teotihuacan people, who were neither Aztec, Toltec, Olmec or Mayan.
Means place of
Teotihuacan was the largest city in the Americas by the first millennium, and its early history and origin remains mysterious.
The geoglyphs of Nazca are spread out over 800 miles in the Peruvian desert.
The lines commonly form the shapes of animals and insects, sometimes plants and people. That's the hummingbird. The purpose of the geoglyphs is unknown. One good theory is that they mark the locations of water sources and animal fodder, essential when crossing the high arid wastes of South America. The Atacama Giant in Chile is over 100 meters tall. Loch Ness, Scotland, home of the world's most famous lake monster. Doesn't look like there were any monsters on the surface when the satellite was taking these pictures, so we'll move swiftly on. The Neolithic henge monument, Arbor Low in Derbyshire, whether the stones were once built around 4,500 years ago, or if they were always intended to lie flat, is unknown. The original site of Stonehenge goes back approximately 10,000 years. Along with the Great Pyramid of Giza, it is probably the most studied full-size replica in the world. Can be seen in the World's Mysterious Places Part 2. Less famous, but no less spectacular than Stonehenge, is Avebury, which encloses much of a small village. Less than a mile from Avebury is Silbury Hill, the largest artificial mound in Europe. Legend tells that it is the last resting place of King Sil, sitting on a golden horse. St Michael's Mount on the Cornish coast is called the Grey Rock in the Wood in Cornish. At low tide, when the mount can be accessed on foot, the remains of tree stumps can be seen on the beach. Perhaps they tie in with the lost land of Lioness, which vanished beneath the waves according to local legends. The Kerloas menhir in France is the tallest standing stone in Europe and can be seen 30 kilometres away. It lost the top 2 metres after a lightning strike 200 years ago. Ankor Wat in Cambodia was built in the 12th century as a state temple and capital city. It is built according to astronomical numbers and alignments on a foundation of sacred cosmology. Uluru, or Ayers Rock, is sacred to Aboriginal tribes who have a number of legends of how it came into existence. Certain parts of the rock are taboo and are not allowed to be photographed, and those who take rocks from the area will be cursed. The Olgas are also sacred to the indigenous people, who name it Keta Chuta. A great snake called Wanambi is said to live on the summit and only comes down in the dry season.
The Maree Man geoglyph was discovered from the air in 1998. It is the world's largest known work of art, measuring over 2 miles in length, and depicts a naked man in the act of throwing a stick. There are a number of theories as to who created the work, but as of now they remain unknown to the world at large.